seat. Find yourself a seat. Robin with, hi Simon Pegg. It's been years. It's been years since anyone's made the Simon Pegg comparison. I got it yesterday and today. I thought shaving the sides of my head would be enough. Dr. Pepper Pepsi Gaming Guy with, if you're the real Will, then what's in the mug, you mug? It's a lot of coffee, ain't it? Dashkell, what ho? You have to excuse me as one. Oh. What even is that? You have to all forgive me as I'm stuffing my face and getting ready for everything. Got my beverages required. I had to get up stupid early to continue a vocal conversation about the battle in triplicate this morning, which was not fun. And then I went right back to sleep. And then I had to get up again for another call, and then I went back to sleep. It's been a morning. It's been a morning. And I'll probably talk to you all about that later. Because even with a bit of like vague conversation, there's some stuff I'd like everyone's input on. So yeah. Anyway. Robin saying, you're a fan of both. Would you recommend Hollow Knight or Rainworld? Robin, it depends how you're feeling at the moment. Also, Aspenex, what ho? How goes it? So Robin, the initial difficulty curve in Rainworld is very steep. Whereas in Hollow Knight, it's slightly more gentle. They're both brutally hard by the end, make no mistake. And there's a lot of depth to both of them. So, out of the two, I would recommend Hollow Knight first. I would not say Hollow Knight or Rainworld, but I would say if you haven't played either, do Hollow Knight first. I mean, Christ, how much did we play of it? Let's have a look on the library for a second. No, I don't want to... Oh. Sorry, I'm going to be a second longer because for some reason Steam decided to update a bunch of other things. I guess their servers are having a... I guess their servers are having a hell of a bad time. So... So yeah. Dashkell, Dr. Pepper Pepper's Gaming Guy, The Great Blue Heron, Alpha the Deluge Alden, and Shriveling Fire. What ho, everyone! How goes it? I hope you're all doing well. And Winset, you fucking legend, dude. Is he here? Is he kicking? Wraith also. What ho! Repping my old Total War t-shirt because I felt like flying some old colours. Yes, the sandwich is called Freebird. I was running super late this morning, so I was like, I gotta eat. I can't be not eating because bloody Lizzie will kick my ass. So I got a sarnie, and it's not amazing, but it's full of food. Hey! I'm so sorry. Aloha to you too, to the Abyssal Wolfman. What ho, friendo? How you doing? So Abyssal Wolfman, I'm going to give you a heads up. We're playing Beyond Eyes today, which is going to be lovely, but might be a massive punch in the feels. I am just, with everything considering, I just wanted to give you a content warning on that one. I don't know, but yeah. Great Blue Heron saying, fluctuating between happy to be free from the job in July and internally screaming that you need a new job. Yeah. But if you can, Great Blue Heron, just enjoy the Zen calm. You know, you don't have to worry about getting up for work and you're going to have some time to yourself, which is super cool. Alpha the Deluge, sorry, I'm not going to help you. Alpha the Deluge is saying, I'm struggling to decide whether or not to get KOTOR again. Steam sale has it for $4. Honestly, I got the Steam version and then patched it, so, yo. Meow Kitty Sakura is saying, I'm here for the rewatching of this lovely, lovely game. Oh, it's super cool. Has anyone seen Tenwin? Yes! There he is! Tenwin, you feckin' legend. Hang on, I think I can show you via live design? Yeah. Yeah, look at this. You fecking legend. So, there. It's done. The deed is done. Thank you. I'm not going to play it right now. Tenwin has been really keen on us doing a Blood Bowl 2 tournament. And I guess unbeknownst to you all, it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. So I'm very much looking forward to doing a Blood Bowl, either a Blood Bowl League or like a day of Blood Bowlian sports. So it's something that we'll be doing. But we'll plan that out nice and far in advance so that people who do want to get involved can get coaching from the players who know, and then we can have kind of like a big sport sort of setup. Caffeine saying, I enjoy Blood Bowl, but Nuffle hates me. Well, they got Nords as a team in Blood Bowl, so I'm going to bring the Vikings. They get Yetis. They get Yetis. Or a Yeti. Oh, man. Now I'm torn between English and American pronunciations. What do? What do? Right. So, as Beyond Eyes is now ready to roll. I haven't even tried looking at the store, everybody, because I know it's not going to work. So Cryos is saying, you'll likely clear this in about 2 to 3 hours. Very interested in discussing it afterwards. It's an interesting thing. Okay, everybody. So this is going to be it looks like this is going to be a full playthrough of Beyond Eyes. Now, obviously, no. We will have a proper talk about this by the end of it. I think that's the best way to go. Abyssal Wolf, and you nearly got a fucking... God, I'm swearing at everything this morning. You nearly got a coffee spit take at me there. I was reading your comment saying, appreciate the heads up, dude. I've actually played this before, and I thought it was a hot pile of poo, so I just wanted to see what you make of it. Hey, Volt, how's it going, yo? What ho, yes, a Volt. What ho? Right. Right, it's a kaleidoscope, innit? Oh... So, Aspenex with the dramatic duck, and this is a blind playthrough. Wah, wah. Oh, lordy, lordy. Yeah, we're going into this blind. If everyone wants to get the terrible, terrible blind jokes out of their system now, that would be ideal. Oh, where... Oh, no, no. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on a ruddy minute. We need settings. No, no! Stop doing the thing! Huh. Oh. Okay. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Okay. Sorry, bear with me all 1 second. I just need to... have a quick look at what I can do with this. This might be a bit of a trouble. There might be a spot of bother here, but there we go. Okay, okay. So as my wafflemancy continues, I'm just going to quickly fiddle with some technical stuff. So if you want to go get yourself a cup of tea, if you want to get like snacks to hand before we get started, now is absolutely the time. Right. Oh, how am I going to do this? Okay, 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 okay. And Aspenix also, thank you very much for the donation there as well. Using Using donations to send terrible puns and or terrible jokes, that's entirely acceptable. But I am, as you all know, very grateful for any donations. So, thank you. Right. Okay. Okay. Yes, I know. Compliment cap, what ho? I do apologise, one and all. So let's go over here. Let's see if we can make this work this time. No, I don't. Cancel out. So game capture, add source. This might be a hot mess, everyone. Add new source. Specific. Beyond eyes. Okay, hopefully this doesn't truck everything too much. Okay. Oh no, we might be alright. I was really worried. Because what you can't see right now is that I'm currently running Beyond Eyes at 4K on a separate screen. Well, it scales real well. And it's being shrunk down into another thing, so. Okay. This should be ready to go, and thank you all for your patience on this one. I do apologise. But at least you got some cracking humour there. Caffeine with Will blindly lashes at the keyboard. Okay, please let there be a decent GIF. Oh, that looks like a... Wow. Sorry, I was having a look for Beyond Eyes GIFs, and for the most part, it's either Beyond Good and Evil, or... But I don't even want to know what some of those are. I do think that if I somehow survive to this time next year and have enough money to attend GDC, I'm going to get a bar and I'm going to buy a pint for developers that put their... There we go. That's Beyond Eyes. Cool. I'm going to buy a pint for developers that put ruddy GIFs of their game up on Giphy to allow me to actually do a thing. Okay. So enough with the wafflemancy. Hello. Let's begin this in earnest. Oh, it's only 14 minutes of wafflemancy. I'm getting better. So, for today's game, we are playing Beyond Eyes. Now, if you don't know the premise of this, we are playing as a little blind girl who is going on a walk. Now, I don't know if they've been left in the woods or if they are lost or what have you. But the concept is that what we see on screen is this girl's perception of the world around them. They believe the best of things. They believe this beautiful world is around them, and this is their mind's eye as it paints things. So things will change. Things will shift as we're going through it. Cryostix has pointed out that she's wearing the boots of blinding speed from Morrowind. Yes, that's right. This is actually a Morrowind mod. Not a lot of people know that. The thing is, I have a feeling this is going to punch me in the feels, which is why I am using a lot of humour, which So, yeah. Without further ado, I'm going to stuff a load of sandwich in my mouth and let's do this. Kitty! Kitty friend! Okay. Okay, I'm going to need to turn the audio way, way up for everybody. So the reason we know that the reason we can spy the woodpecker over there is we can hear the repeated tapping. Oh, that's a fence. That is a fence. Okay. So, I think this is going to be the most part of it. I think we're going to have a very, very... I think we're going to have a very chill game today. Dr. Pepper's asking if we can do a speed run of this in first person. You're dreadful. Where did the kitty go? So we've got to find out. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's a little burb! Sup, burb? Oh, stole the bird. Sorry. So one of the reasons why I've been so keen to play this, and oh, that's a wall. That's a lot of a wall. Okay. It's interesting that stationary, like, solid objects are the hardest things for us to perceive. One of the reasons why I've been so keen on having a crack at this and playing it all with you is that you all know me. When it comes to anything about video games, like, I have a very, very strong, sometimes militant opinion of them. That video games are phenomenal. And as an art medium, they're my personal favourite for certain. And they're potentially one of the most powerful because video games ask us not to observe but to experience. And blindness is not something that I wish upon anyone, not at all. But it's an entirely different way of looking at existence. We're sight-based creatures, right? So how does someone without that primary sense perceive the world? Do they have the absence of sight? Do they just see nothingness? Is this what their mind conjures up? This idealized image of things? Or maybe it's abstract. So, yeah. Caffeine's pointing out that Scanner Sombra... Ooh, that's very close to the wall. Scanner Sombra is another good example of kind of cheeky perceptions. Okay. Nope, still more wall. You win this round. Stone. Kitty! Kitty friend! Come on. Kitty. The pair quickly became best friends. Goddamn right. Shriveling Fire says, if there is a hole at some point which you don't see and your blind child gets hurt, I will do a... And then Shriveling Fire does a swear and then a fight. Yeah, so we're gonna be fighting the kitty. Robin Blackwell's asking if this is Daredevil's origin story. Do you mean minus all the monstrous amounts of Catholic guilt? Summer gave way to autumn. Ray's friend now had a name. I wonder if, because of the technical feckery, we missed a little bit of the intro. So I'm assuming the girl's name is Ray. So, okay.
Nanny.
Oh, what's the kitty? I'm just amazed that they managed to... that this girl's managed to find a cat that isn't a complete ass. Oh, there she is. Avoid some bushes. Kitty! Also, I'm heckin' digging the art style here. Because what's interesting about games like Scanner Sombra and some of the horror games which have asked you to play as a blind person is it starts in blackness, it starts in darkness. But this, it's kind of the idea of this plain white canvas that until this child experiences something, that there is nothing apart from what's drawn. It's like a positive way, a positive visualization of a condition they live with, and I think that's real cool. You know, because we've had the blindness as a superpower several times. Although, if you ever get a chance to watch Beat Takeshi's Zatoichi, oh yes, it's got a dance number and everything. Hang on, I just need to turn my ruddy phone silent because it's decided to wake up and be a butt. I don't see you over there, phone. I don't see you. And Greenfire is saying that the kitty needs treats and a belly rub. We're doing this. We're looking after the cat. Well, I think child first in the priority list because that cat's doing fine. Hopefully this doesn't turn into some Hellblade Senua's sacrifice. Where are you? Feckin' cats, man. Oh, there's the burb. Let's see if we can see it fly away. Oh. Because whilst it's in flight, we can hear its wings beating, so we know where it is. There's some numbers saying the cat will rip your hand. I can't hear it. Compliment Cap is pointing out that Fallout New Vegas is $2.84 on Steam. Oh, there's the woodpecker. Oh, where's the kitty? Where are you, you little fuzzy... Oh, it's trying to eat the woodpecker. Lazy cat.
Nanny.
Yay! The cat then proceeded to brutalise the poor woodpecker. Huh. Usually a bird would have flown away by this. Oh, that's a wall. Compliment Cap has realised the cat's name is Nani. Nani? Nani desu ka? Oh, no. That's a wall. Alpha Deluge saying they had to leave and come back. We started playing. Yeah, we just started. So we're making friends with the cat. It's now autumn. The cat's name is Nanny, as in Nani. But we're exploring the garden. So it's a cute little kind of cottage setup. So, yeah. Dr. Pepper Pepsi Gaming Guy is asking, so I've already asked this, what do you think of Reseviek? So the name doesn't ring a bell right now. Oh, winter came. Nanny started to visit less often. Kid, you need a jumper. Where are your parents?
Nanny.
Oh, I hit kitties. Did your alternative saying, when you get your cyber eyes and learn that you're in a post-apocalypse and need to be the one that brings about the revolution? Well, this is why I love playing these games with you all, because right now, our perception of this entire world is from inside a child's mind. What we're seeing is this, like, Beatrix Potter, like, idealised, beautiful garden world. But we really don't know where we are. Nothing's been explained to us. And there's one of the things that I tout as one of the great geniuses of Steven Universe. Is children don't question things. They just don't. For children up until, until the start of adolescence, their environment just is. There's no questions about it. There's no, like, oh, why are we different from so-and-so? Because that's, for you, that's what you've grown up with. That's normal. That is the normal. This child has no reason to question their perception of this environment. So, that's a really good jumping off point for a pretty deep story. And if you haven't watched Steven Universe, I would highly recommend it, even if you don't like it, as a way of telling a story through the perceptions of a child, or using childlike perceptions to tell a really, I'm going to swear, I'm dropping a swear, a really fucked up story. It's brilliant. Hey up, bub.
Nanny.
That doesn't seem too fussed by us. Quasi's saying, watching all of Steven Universe, please don't worry about the first 10 episodes. That's true, but the first 10 episodes, while you could skip them to avoid all the plot, they set this precedence. Like, they show you that... They show you the day-to-day of Steven's life really well. And the normality of the situation that he's in. His perception of the normality. The bit when someone asks him, are your parents home? It's like, no, it's just me and the crystal gems. Are they your guardians? Aunts? Dude lives with, like, tiny dude, lives with 3 intergalactic crystal-based life forms. So. Oh, so Abyssal Wolfen is saying, as a parent, I can confirm that kids will actually question a lot of things. Normally in the most inappropriate places and ways. You know what I mean, Abyssal Wolfen, who I clearly don't know in the real world. That, you know, their perception of, you know, home, family life, family unit, stuff like that. They'll question, like, where do babies come from? Or why does that person look like that when they're right next to you? Oh, we're on a path of Kitty.
Nanny.
Kitty! Get the feck over here. Sorry, I'm in a very weird mood this morning, but I have eaten and I've had caffeine, so there's not going to be any kind of... There you are, you little... Each time Nanny left the garden, Ray would worry if he would ever come back. Aww. Aww. Someone give this child a hug. Where are your parents? Where are your parents? Oh, man. Chiat, that's messed up, but hilarious. Chiat saying, kids won't question things if it kind of fits with their expectation of reality. They told their 4-year-old son that as you grow up, your baby eyes get wobbly and fall out and are replaced with adult eyes. This was acceptable and a reasonable fact. Sorry, Greenfire, is that is true, the kids do that. and funny with some of the answers that they have. Aww. Can't tell if she's cold or sad. I'd say we'd call child services, but... Quasi saying, speaking of kids, I'm off to pick mine up. Have fun, I'll see you later. I don't know if fun's the right word for this, but... Oh, who's up for an adventure? Ray missed her friend badly. One day, she decided to go find him. Where are your parents? Dr. Pepper Pepsi Gaming Guy is saying they're very tempted to name their child Optimus Prime the millionth when they have one. I'm tempted by naming a child Skeletor, because at least in the original Thundercats, no, He-Man, sorry, Skeletor was always Skeletor. Even, all right, let's just get our bearings real quick. I have to probably get this child back home somehow. Skeletor was always Skeletor, even before the King of Eternia ripped his face off. So I imagine someone going through their entirety of their school life, first name Skeletor. I mean, they were always going to be evil at that point, right? Ask not for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Alright.
Nanny.
Maybe we can go to the church and ask where your parents are. Burbs. Jack's Gulch saying, if the world were round, then there couldn't be white space all around you. Flatlanders 1, rational people 0. Jeez. Great Blue Heron. It tolls for this girl's parents. Please find your child. Out for the deluge. It tolls for the what? Don't leave me hanging like this. Shriveling Fire saying, Great Blue Heron, please stop trying to make this girl Batman. Batman whose superpowers were infinite money and dead parents. Ray wondered if Nanny might have come this way. That's a fair assumption. Hi, my name's Will. I'm clearly going to be using humour to overcome... Oh, that's cool. So the little swirls around Ray changes. It's something that she can interact with. Ehrman saying, I thought that unattended children were to be given an espresso and a puppy. Nah, bag of Skittles and the promise of a puppy. Laden them up with sugar and caffeine, and then roll them back to their parents like a grenade. Mummy and Daddy said you can have a little puppy. Now, eat all these E numbers in a bag. Roll that little sucker back. I promise you'll be able to find your way home through the wailing... Good thing we brought wellies. Oh. Okay, we're going over a bridge. That's cool. Ah, see, we could hear the running water before we could understand we were on a bridge. This kid is crazy, stupid, brave. Jumping back into chat, Wraith saying, so the twist in this game is it's going to be packed full of Tomb Raider-style death scenes, right? Oh, no! No, no. Oh, the Tomb Raider ones still make me uncomfortable. Oh. Oh! Things were not always as she imagined them. Okay, did you all see that? It swapped from a fountain to being like an outlet. Oh, and those are more bushes. Can we go paddle in the stream? I just loved doing that as a kid. Nah. The kid's gonna fall. Caffeine saying, we can't see any of the words as your face cam is in the way. Oh, fine. Hopefully this doesn't feck it up. Right. Hopefully that's alright. Jack's girl saying, just turn off your face. I'll take my face off. Like in that movie. Face off. That's a little savage. And yes, that was the Green Ranger sound. Alright, Shriveling Fire, we'll see you later, yo. And Caffeine, have a good day at work, yo. Hopefully, most likely I'll still be going when you get back, so that'll be cool. Abyssal Wolfen, did someone say Rangers? Yeah, that was what the noise I was making. It's the Green Ranger, like doo 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 doo. Jack's Gold saying, should I be as worried as I am about this game? I don't know where it's gonna go. This just in, crows are jerks. See, as the situation's gotten spooky, our little one's freaking out. And her perception of the situation is changing. So while she would usually believe the best of a scenario, like now, not today, crows. DJ Alternative, punch the crow. Where are her parents? Oh, no. We're in spooky, creepy crowland. You crows make this girl cry, so help me. I'm busting out my shoe. The arty po, ready my blade. Sorry, for those of you who don't know, my shoe is the mystical blade of the longship. Some numbers say, get out of the field. I'm bloody trying! Oh, here we go. Yeah, there we go. This game takes a strange turn as over-styled anime will like land in the background with like superhero landing with the glowing blade of my shoe. Did we ever decide what the other shoe was? Because remember we were waiting for the other shoe to drop the other day.
Nani?
Okay, so things are a little bit warmer, a little bit calmer. That's okay. DG Alternative saying, if all of this weather is happening in one day, I think there's more problems than finding a cat. Alright, there's the stream. Actually, let's not go too close to it. Let's not get this little girl drowned. Wraith is saying, I think you decided on being a flail or a mace or some such. I mean, I had the idea... Oh, hey! Esger in chat is... I'm sorry, I'm probably going to butcher your first name repeatedly, and I do apologise. Is Shedra. Shedra? I'm so sorry. But this is... she's the creator of this game. I invited her on to come talk about... inspiration, ideas, challenges of making a game like this, especially as a solo team, and you know, someone who did the proper rounds at E3 20. I want to say it was 2016 that we met. But also that person is working a whole lot today, so They're going to be popping in and out. So yeah, if you want to send them some love about this game, consider this your vehicle to do so. I've given them an open invite to jump on Discord and chat about the game at any point throughout today. But yeah. God, see, ever since was it either Race or Jax made the joke about the Tomb Raider-esque style. I want to stay away from the water. Hey up, Froggo! Kiddo. The frog just leaps off. Alright, it's pronounced Churda. Churda. I am really, really bad with names and the ilk, so I do apologise. And if you want to plug your Twitter, or if you want to plug your, I don't think you could. I don't. Are you talking about whatever your next project is? But if you want to plug that, please feel free. Dr. Pepper Pepsi Gaming Guy is actually breaking what will be the spoiler at the end, which is there is in fact a giant Bioshock-like monster just stomping in anyone trying to get near to her, but he flies so you can't hear him. Oh, is it so? Churda. Churda's saying that the number one question asked besides why can't she walk faster, is it weird that I didn't think at any point like, why can't this little kid walk faster? She's blind. She is literally feeling her way through the world. Oh, that's a bench. Sorry, kid. Let's go say hi to the chickens. Chicky buck buck. Oh, chicky buck buck. Chickens. Do we go into the chicken field? Yeah, let's go make friends with chickens. Be free! Be free, chickens! Yeah, they're all going to escape. Can I pick one up? Jiggy buck buck. Oh, hello. Alpha the Deluge is predicting that the chickens turn out to be Zelda's cuckoos. The girl trips, falls on one of them, and they summon the Horde. That is how Beyond Eyes ends. The chicken swarm. You lot being well behaved. Greenfire's like, close the bloody gate! I'm gonna. I mean, it's not like we're trying to survive the zombocalypse, right? Okay, let's try this way. Be free, chickens! Be free to live as you will. Oh. Okay, we found our first not our house. Okay. So one of the things... Oh, that's real cunt. So our lovely dev friend, the creator of this very game, whose name I have been butchering repeatedly, is saying that the girl is legally blind. So most of what we see is her imagination combined with memories of what happened before the incident, which is why I guess it has this this childlike watercolor style to it. You know, it's this idealized, almost kind of romanticized version. Anyway, the chickens will go be free. It'll be fine. Meow Kitty Sakura. Oh, look, a house. You can ask about her parents. But, okay, I know we've been joking about but where are your parents a lot. It's... yeah. Yeah, I don't want to predict where this game is going to go, but there's... ooh, I don't like it when the music stops. No. Bad doggo. Bad doggo.
Nani?
Alright. We're back in it. Back in it, kid. We got this. So that's where we came across. Guess we want to keep going this way. That's a great quote saying, think of this game as royalty, except her parents are still alive. Think of the game as a fairy tale, except her... I completely butchered that, I do apologise. Think of this game as a fairy tale, except her parents are still alive and she isn't royalty. Oh, that's a door. I'm very thankful that you didn't add any kind of collision anims, because I would feel so bad for walking her into things. Oh, that's cool. Get a little sense of where things are from the water droplets. That's real cool. The bells! Dr. Pepper saying, you'd feel bad, but you do it over and over again. I'm not that cruel! Okay, maybe in zombie survival games where I particularly dislike a certain individual, Donald. But, was I not... You were all with me for one shot. You know. You know. Oh, that's a cliff. That is a cliff. Oh boy. Yeah, Reflective Gamer knows. Donald had it coming. Kitty. Of course it's Ginger. And the thing we were saying about this earlier, I know it's a really simple point, but your choice to make it so that essentially the base palette of this game is... the base colour of this game is bright white, I thought was a lot more inspired than people have sat down to talk about, because we got, was it Unfinished Swan? The one where you have to fling... it's a white environment and you have to fling chunks of black ink at the world to work out where you are, but if you throw too much, you end up with the same problem in reverse. What's been really interesting is seeing how this child looks at the world with this kind of curiosity and fills in the blanks as they're moving forward, rather than like a lot of horror games that use blindness as its main hook, which plunges the character into darkness and then adds little bits of sight along the way. I think that's really interesting. Stur was saying, I'm going to use your Twitch handle. Again, I do apologise, but you talk about cringe. I'm going to cringe when I rewatch this, and I butchered your first name, so I do apologise. So watching this is both really nice and cringy as hell. So many things I guess you say you would change now. I mean, that's the only problem with... That's the great problem with art, isn't it? There's always things you could have done. And, I mean, if you do have time to jump on Discord later, I think that's one of the things I'd love to talk about, is that... Oh dear. That's one of the things I'd love to talk about later, is that with a game like this that is looking to convey something very specific... What the feck?! It's a road! Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. How about a giant bag of nope? Dr. Pepper Pepsi Gaming Guy saying this is what Smaug does to your children. Dark Souls 4 confirmed. Yeah, this is actually Beyond Eyes was actually an ARG for Dark Souls 4, but no one noticed it because it was too good as a game on its own. I kid. We're gonna have to cross that, aren't we? Oh no. Ah, here we go. Oh, this is not good. I don't know if it's the same thing. I will respond to your comment in just a second. Oh, okay. So that was tension, alright? The child is fine. I think that was more tense than some of the boss battles we've done of late. Blind child crosses the road. We're okay. So, Stu was saying that, okay, about the whiteness, and this is, I'm just reading their quotes. You're absolutely right about that black gives too much of a horror vibe since we associated black as a negative colour, when in fact, for blind people, it's not so much about living in darkness as more as the absence of sight. Try to imagine that you are trying to watch from the back of your head. I think that's a really cool way of looking at it, because being blind is not the same as closing your eyes and seeing nothing. It's the absence of vision, and I hope that's not an experience that people have to go through. It is something that unfortunately happens as part of the human condition. It's something that happens to people, and my arty-farty speech earlier on was basically saying that games are one of the few mediums that can really make us understand what that means. And anything that tackles a subject like that is incredibly powerful. Raid saying, the child is physically unharmed. Fine, might be stretching things. And Ray had never been this far away from home. Find ourselves at a crossroads. Alright, let's get my bearings a little bit. Okay, here we go. Time to explore some things. DJ Alternatives asking makes a really interesting question. What are dreams like for people who are born blind? Like, what is their concept of reality? I mean, dreams are taken, as it was explained to me by a friend of mine, is essentially like post-processing. Your brain handling a bunch of stuff that it hasn't dealt with yet, combined with a whole big old dose of imagination and subconscious. Dr. Pepper Pepsi Gaming Guy is saying, I feel like games that focus on any condition, such as the game of This Dragon Cancer, can hit home, because something like a video about autism won't explain much and may segregate them even more, showing you how they're different. But in games, you've got the narrative of how it will affect you and your environment. It's very true. And I love the concept of Zatoichi. I know it's something that's played a lot in video games, in weeb culture, in the idea of the badass blind samurai, the person for whom a disability becomes a superpower, and that's really cool. Like I can't speak for people who have visual impairments, but I like to imagine that those kind of stories are rad and sort of empowering, and cars are scary. Ooh. Okay. Hello? I'm trying to find a cat and I don't know where my parents are. But the thing with those stories is that they are romanticizing. The fact that Zatoichi is this unstoppable swordsman because he's blind, he can see moves happening before he can hear the sound of a sword, and that's very cool and very rad. But it doesn't give us understanding. It doesn't give us the tools for empathy. So that's my feels on the matter. Jumping back into chat, Molla Ball, what ho? How goes it? Cryostick saying, luckily, Ray's parents had a WoW problem and would be consumed by it for seasons at a time. You're criminal. Kettle saying, what ho? Sorry I missed the start of this, but I was watching Twitch present Doctor Who. It's Tom Baker. Oh, way cool. I don't think I ever met Tom Baker. Sure. Okay, so that's a bridge. Let's have a little explore around here quickly. So just saying to Mr. Ghost, but I think it's one that I'd like to just read the comment out of, which is they're saying that the most important thing they would change is to allow themselves more time. The development time was really shortened as a side effect of E3 announcements, and a few important things got cut outside of my control. There is an unreleased patch that solves a lot of the issues, but unfortunately it will most likely not be released. Things like that aren't uncommon, and I mean, I'm always of the perspective of I'd rather have this game in all its brilliance less finished than have it, drag off into eternity or release. Like, it isn't We Happy Few. Like, I'm trying to be political. I am very glad this game is out, and I hope that you were able to capitalise on the momentum that you got from that E3 push, because it was a lovely game to see. If I remember correctly, you weren't just at the PC gaming show, you were also on stage for the Microsoft press conference, am I right? Doggo, no, you're scaring the blind girl. Actually, I tell you what, Greenfire, let me just... so just saying that it was a huge deal for them as a rookie dev to be on the Microsoft main stage. And I really do hope that it helped. Oh. Be a friendly doggo. Be friendly. No. Why you be mean? Joe, I don't know how much you can talk about any deals or things that you had with Microsoft, so if I am asking any questions like about the business of games that you can't answer, please feel free to be like, Will! But is the reason that you're not able to patch it because you have... because I believe this came out on, I want to say Xbox One as well? And for those that don't know, anytime you submit like patches and stuff to the Xbox, it's not free. It's not nothing. So yeah. Oh, we got ourselves another chicky buck buck. Oh, and we found a gate. You've grown a mustache. Oh, hello, chickens. Oh. Okay. So we're not getting in the shed. Boy, sure I'm glad they got those creepy face masks on the outside. Cheeky, cheeky, buck, buck. If I see someone actually keeping their chickens in sensible hutches, then they'll get eaten by foxes. One of these days I'll tell you all the story of chicken Alcatraz down the road. What could only be described as a maximum security penitentiary for chickens. Oh, here we go. Okay. So we're going round. Alright, so that's more... Alright, chicky buck buck. Slow your roll. Green Fire saying, chickens are funny and dumb. Okay. It's cool hanging out with you, chicky buck buck, but we need to get back on the road. There is a cat we must find. Olefs, how's it going, yo? What ho! Doggo, you stay there. It's alright. It's alright. Okay, I think we can continue onwards. Can we? Oh. Alright. Time to find a cat. Now I'm... Oh! Why are there so many dogs? It's alright. Hello, I'm blind and very lost. English people are the worst. Oh, it's Jopper ducks. Oh. We got wellies on, we can go mess with them. I'm not even going to give that a try. Zeramon? From the 6th bus. Cats, but don't like dogs or geese. There is a wonderful game coming out. I think it's Untitled Goose Game? Can't wait. Basically Hitman, but you're an asshole goose. Because geese are not. Once more towards the bells! Once more towards the bells. Yeah, so the comment earlier about people requesting a run mode in this one, like, it's interesting. Often people don't know what they want. Okay, that is a jerkish comments to say, and I do not speak for the developer of this game when I say that, but the pacing of this game is very important. If you could run around this game at full tilt, like run past the dogs, if you can continue, like, you know, running into things at full tilt, it would be a very, very different experience. The slow cautiousness of this. Go away, doggo. The slow kind of cautious nature of this, and the way this child... the way the child explores this world, I think, is very important. If you had like a high-speed sprint, like sprint jump roll maneuvers, it would be a very different game.
Come here.
Friendos!
Hello. Lily. Ray. Hi. Papa. Oh, there.
Lily had lost her ball and needed Ray's help. Now we're being the... Oh, that's a fence. Now we're being the superhero. Alright.
Oh, there.
I'm working on it! So, on the other list of things, questions we need to ask, where are Ray's parents? Why aren't you in school?
That way. That way.
It's alright. Where's the gap in the fence? Isacrid saying, I haven't played I Divine Cybermancy, but I'm playing Beyond I. Yeah, that's right. I'm playing the sequel already.
I'm there.
Yeah, I know! You can point all you want! You might have noticed!
Oh, there.
Isacrid, we did actually do a stream of I Divine Cybermancy before. The thing I wanted to play with you was the multiplayer mode, because I'm really curious to see how that pans out. I guess
I'm there.
I know!
That way. Oh, there.
Alright, so I can't just scale... Isn't Attack on Titan. There isn't a mantle. Dash girl saying, over there, that way, she said, to a blind girl.
There.
Just look where I'm pointing. I just don't want to bop her with a welly. Okay, but joking aside, like, people... I don't think the child is doing it maliciously, but we do assume a certain level of ability in everyone we interact with. Oh, I'm going to throw something at that becking dog. A lot of the time, you know, we assume that people can see where I'm pointing or understand what I'm saying. We infer that kind of... We infer that capacity onto others. And whether that's Oh, a seesaw. Yeah. So compliment cap. Yeah, I did an I Divine Cybermancy stream ages back. It was real good. I'm thinking of going back, but as I was saying, mostly do the multiplayer. Dr. Pepper Pepsi gaming guy with you can't see saw. Criminal. I mean, if you look at what we're actually doing right now, we're just going to go fetch a ball that someone punted over the top of punted at the playground, right? But for us, as a blind person, I know! This is a huge undertaking. We can't just hop the bloody fence. Now, what I really like as well is that the colours, the blue line estimates where we think we heard the ball go. There it is. The blind girl gets all the way around, is about to hand it to the other girl, and then just stabs it on the top of the fence. Now you know where it is. It's over there. Annoying, isn't it? Oh. Isocrid, that is incredibly generous of you, thank you. Isocrid, for $10 for the dramatic duck. With gasp! I'm not going completely nuts, Isocrid. It was you that was offering to host up a multiplayer game of I Divine Cybermancy. So that might be one we do for a Saturday. Oh, that's one if you're doing Steam sale stuff. You're not having this ball. No. Bad dog.
Ray, Amir.
Yay, little friendo. Now Ray needed help.
Nani?
Could Lily help her find Nani?
Kitty? That way?
Could you also punt that dog in the noggin?
I know.
We just got that!
Ray, go.
Alright, yeah. In all fairness, she's using the ball that matters to... The ball that matters to her, she's using it to distract the dog. And as Dr. Pepper Pepsi Gaming Guy says, that was a very ballsy move. It's okay. Doggo, no. So, Isocrid and Asmonix today, thank you both very much for donating to the Keep Will Alive and Not and Feeding Food Fund. Feeding food? I know how words work. Oh, it's alright. It's alright. It's just a doggo. Wait a second. Wait a second.
Ah.
See? It was a fluffy doggo all along. Abyssal Wolfen asking, are these the dogs that ate her parents? No, the dog was a shepherd. Yeah, it was a good doggo all along. I mean, you can't see it. We got a little achievement that says bravery. Yay! You did good, kid. You did real good. I'm proud of you. Cryosticks? I didn't say anything about punching the doggo. What are you talking about? That is a myth. That is slander. It was never proven. Never proven. I love dogs. I really do. If it won't make you all hate me to say aloud, I am probably more of a dog person than a cat person. But I'm in protective mode. This blind girl. There's a lot of paternal feels going down here. So.
Nani?
Yeah, Mount Sakura is saying, I imagine dogs would be frightening to a small child who couldn't see them if they were on a leash or angry. If you could just hear them barking. Like, on my walk to work now, I pass a bunch of places that have got, like, staffies and kind of, like, bulkier dogs in them. And the thing is, staffies are stupid, but they're really sweet-tempered. Like, you can rile them up, but they're good-tempered dogs. Oh, of course, it's a feckin' statue of a doggo. Alright, we might see our first comments bloodbath. Oh, when you're a calf. Oh, what's that? Nanny loved to eat fish. Ray was certain he would have come this way. Oh, it's the smell. Oh, it's a feckin'... Right, seagulls are assholes, so... Ray, you just start swinging. Just windmill in there, love. We've got you. Alright, so I need a way to get rid of these numpties. Yeah, Archer's like, destroy them. When Ray came back, strangely all the seagulls were silent, and there appeared to be warm liquid all over the ground. Ray thought nothing of it, and walked on, unknowingly squidging across the corpses of several seagulls that had been killed by a ginger man with a giant glowing broadsword. I'm not condoning the actual, like, seagull slaughter, but for this little one, I'd go full berserker on a bunch of gulls. You ever seen a bunch of seagulls in Brighton? They are mean. They'll steal your chips. They'll steal your ice cream. They will steal your kids. They don't care. The seagulls. Some number saying, oh. Sing the song of their people. Caw-caw!
Ah.
Oh. Hey! Wait, ducks or geese? That's the question. Swans? Because, for the record, swans are just as bad as geese, but they're protected by the queen, so, yeah. Crystal was saying, the zoo here has 2 fake seagull statues. I don't know why they think there will be a shortage of actual seagulls to look at. Yeah. We shall carve... There's a bird over there. We shall carve into the rock these seagulls, lest the children forget. Seagulls are jerks, and they'll steal your shit. I'm Deckard Cain, and I once lost the Herodran Cube to a bunch of seagulls. Tenwin's saying, I know this is beside the point, but I just played a match of Blood Bowl with my goblin, killed an ogre, and 2 human blitzes. I am having a great day. That's good to hear. And the reason why I said you didn't need to recommend Blood Bowl for Saturday gaming is because we're going to do a day on it. It's going to happen. So, Kestrel's saying they got a bunch of swans in Ottawa, which were gifts from the Queen. Well, you want to be... Oh, what was that? You want to be really punk. Get some swan pie. Isocrid saying, by the way, Will, did you grab Jurassic World Evolution? No. I am... Yeah. I'm unfortunately not able to purchase things digitally right now because of stuff and reasons. I don't want to go into my personal banking information stuff on here, but yeah. What was it? What was yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday was a day. Tuesday was not a great day. But then I get to come hang out with you lot on Wednesday, so there we go. And Wednesday was much better. Okay, so we continue our little exploration. Oh, it's interesting that cars don't seem to trigger the same negative, but the smell of engine and gasoline and everything is so pronounced that it's really easy to know where cars are at. Yeah, I guess while we're walking around this one, I can update you all on the battle in triplicate if you're interested in Will life things. It's... Oh. Let's just steal a duck. Greenfire saying they are back with snacks. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Snacks for days. Oh, I'm definitely needing a cup of tea, though. Oh, there's too many early mornings this week. You're kicking my ass. Dashkill saying, always interested in being nosy. How fares the battle? So, both good and terrible. So, there was some stuff that I thought was going to mean everything was going to be sorted, and I thought we were going to be able to switch on like subs and bits and all of that very soon. That hasn't been the case. Might still happen, but as it stands right now, I'm kind of in a bit of a I don't know. Now, naming no names, there's potential that I could be working... Well, yeah. I don't know how to phrase it. There is a possible full-time gig that has been offered to me, dependent on my getting the battle and triplicate sorted. So, I still... Yeah. Oh, that was kind of cool. Kind of the perception of the back of the truck and things like that. So Crystal, it's a potential full-time gig. So it's also there's potential that those people would actually offer me the firepower and support of their HR peeps to help with the battle and triplicate. So Isocrid saying, whatever you do, don't check Discord now. Okay. Wait. I mean, so, Dashkill's like, I was saying, if I land
job, they'd be very happy. It would basically mean I'd be changing my streaming hours, but I would keep going. Because you lot are feckin' wonderful, and I want to continue hanging out with you all, yo. And if this job doesn't materialise, then I'll continue doing this full time. So, yeah. Yeah, see, so Joe, like, I now want to check Discord. Why would you tell me don't check Discord? Anyway, I think we've gotten around the gulls and... Ooh! Hope no one's super hungry, because it's pastry o'clock. Has anyone got Ket's emote? Because now is exactly the time where one should spam a bunch of croissants. A bunch of croissants! Hey, 12 steps, how's it going? Thank you, Dashkull, you got me. This is Beyond Eyes. This is an absolutely gorgeous game about a blind girl trying to find her cat. And it's her perceptions as she explores the world. And it's lovely. And so yeah, Kestrel, you know what, however this goes down, I'm exceedingly happy. I have been having, like, since I started doing this, essentially as my day job and hanging out with all of you lot, I've been a really cheerful Mother Hubbard. And I really want to keep doing that. I really do. Oh. Okay, so we found our way round to the fish. Out for the deluge. 3 cheers for cheerful Will! It was like we were saying when all the drama stuff was going down the other week, like, you lot already helped me through all the bad stuff. Like, the smell of fresh bread gave Ray an idea. Ah, we're going to solve puzzles with theft. And Crystal is basically hitting upon the point which I love and why I really wanted to show in this game, which is I love how positive she is, the character we're playing as. This is her imagination of the town, and she is making it utterly beautiful. Like, this is her perception of this place, and it's stunning. She truly does believe the best of this little town. This is her imagined world. And then Cryostic's adding that, twist, this is actually the prequel to I Am Bread. Hindle, problem solving with bread, that's using your loaf. So who moved their car? A lot of bread bakeries around here. Aha. I get the feeling this would have been blocked with a vehicle. Let's see if we can get those mangy gulls out of the way. Lest this become another round of Gulliver's Travels. Yeah. Yes, I think I'm funny. Hey, friend dog. Hey, buddy. How you doing? Don't eat the bread. The bread is not good. Isocrid's asking, can dogs eat bread? Dogs can eat anything. Whether they should or not is the question. My mum worked as a veterinary nurse for quite a while, and in the waiting room of the place she worked in Storrington, they had this glass cabinet. It was like a glass shelving, and it was things we pulled out of dogs. And it was just this collection of things that dogs have eaten and they've had to take out. And Some of it was hilarious. The amount of like action figures and things like that. Some of them was terrifying. Like whole golf balls, mildly chewed. 12 Step saying dogs can't eat a car. Well, toy cars. Oh, they'll nom down on those, no problem. Aha. This puts us behind the bakery full of goals. Oh. It's all got spooky all of a sudden. Oh, because it's a person that they don't know. That's a goose. Ooh. Crowstick saying, I'm not saying this level is bad, it's breadful. Budum-tsh. Thank you, Cryosticks. Until the night shift of Rhymes and Moose takes over for more terrible puns. Wraith was saying that the wall of things dogs eat sounds a lot like the butt box in A&E. I think it's Gorka that do it once a year, but they do a roundup of things like what was it, like most impressive things found inside the human body each year, and they do a little write-up on it, and it's certainly something. I'm not getting by this way. It's okay. Oh, wait. There we go. That's the ticket. Dear ducks, don't steal my bread, or I'll kick you in your stupid beak with my wellies. Now, what's that? Ah. Okay, so we now head back over, go feed the seagulls, and we're through. So Joe was saying that about the earlier question about patching is it does take a lot of resources to publish on all platforms. Unfortunately, the publisher decided not to. That's a real shame. Oh, Teddy, I'm heading the wrong way. Am I? No, because the seagulls are around this way. Greenfire saying, did I hear Kelly's Wellies playing? Cryostic's adding, speaking of items found, I worked in wastewater plants, one of the biggest in Finland, and there's a table of items they find in the sewage. It could really double as a cell phone museum time place. Oh dear lord. The one that I'd add to that is that the TSA have a Tumblr of things people try to bring onto an airplane. And it's something else. So yeah, in terms of like patching and things like that, No. You know that point where the creator of the game said I was going the wrong way, and I went, no, I know where I'm going, and I was entirely wrong? Do you remember that? Because I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. Yeah, the TSA have a Tumblr of things people try to bring on planes, and it's like this cavalcade of stupid. I mean, the one that kept making me laugh was a knife that looks like a gun. Like, at what point? At what point? A 12-step saying this little girl has great spatial awareness. Very true. But we already came through this area, so So we've gotten to paint our way through, to observe our thoroughfare, if you will. Let's go find those feckin' gulls. Greenfire saying, at least my ignorance was willful. But-umch. Now, which way was it to the angry gulls? That was the way we came in. That's the doggo statue. Here they are! Feckin' gulls. Seagulls flocked around the bread, gobbled it up greedily. Can we sneak around them? Yeah. Nope, that's a bin. That's another bench. See, Tenma was saying this girl must have a fantastic memory, and I just like to imagine that her ability to visualize her environment is, you know, almost, yeah. Alright, I'm going to level with you all. I seem to have facilitated seagulls more than gotten rid of them. I mean, to suggest, like, if you consider doing any post-launch content support for Beyond Eyes, can I please request a glowing sword for this child so she can cleave those feckin' seagulls in half? Yeah, Hindle's with me. Hindle's like, give this child an axe. I caught fire once saying, hit the seagulls like you would in an RPG. If you are the seagull queen, they are your eyes now. Interesting. There's more bread over there. So I'm okay without help, like, and it's great having you just lurking in chat and talking with everybody, like, that's super cool. But, like, yeah, if you want to do, like, a charity DLC just to give this kid a sword, I'm in. Oh, and now it is raining. And the door is closed. Best Wolfen's asking if we can go to the right of the bin. I'll give it a shot. Greenfire saying, ice cream is now no more. Yeah, I'm sorry to inform all of you, there is no more ice cream. The ice cream is done. It's been a good run. Ice cream as a dessert is now finished. Greenfire fought the good fight. It is now... Dashkull makes more ice cream and then eats it. I caught fire once saying that's a lie. I have ice cream in my freezer. When was the last time you checked it? I caught fire once. When was the last time you checked to see? So we've moved the seagulls. Now what? All right, I'll put my hand up. I'll take a tip as we're rolling through this. Plus, it gives me a chance to have a little bite of Masani.
Okay, heading to the shops now. So Joe, do you want me to pick up anything? I'm gonna get a cornetto. Do you want a cornetto? I'm gonna get a cornetto. Maybe we got Mars ice cream. No, I want a cornetto. I guess, Sajert, are you... Again, I don't want... Again, if you can't answer this, that's entirely fine, but was part of your publishing deal that you release the same content on each platform? Because, I mean, you could do a... I mean, I'm not saying anything we don't know, but a cheeky patch on the Steams might be good. It's just saying they have vegan cornettos now? Truly, we are blessed. Crowstick saying, I'll take some seagull legs, please, and then throw them at the other seagulls. So that's fair. So I'm going to restate it just because some people have kind of dropped in, dropped out, but for a lot of... Oh, the birds are having a great time. God, this game's beautiful! For a lot of platforms, pushing a patch to them is not no cost. Because it's got to go through certification to make sure it's not going to break the system or to make sure it still adheres to a lot of stuff. It's weird that the smell of meat is unsettling. Like, without the visual association, like, oh! That's a car. Okay. Like, without the visual association, like, that dead flesh smell could be quite... Yeah. Okay, so we can't go any further. So we've got meat smell, we've got flower smell. So Joe's saying that they're vegan. Oh, that's fair news. I mean, I'm based out of Seattle now, so, like, I'm not vegan by any means, but the amount of, like, vegan options at places is so good. I was explaining to someone yesterday that quite a lot of the time I'll order, like, veggie burgers or, like, falafel burgers and stuff like that, because I like them. Alright. Okay. So, we went back through that way. Car was blocked. It started raining. Ah, here we go. Bin's gone. I took the wrong way round. Bins have been moved, so there we go. So our character's perception, for all intents and purposes, our character still believed that to be a place they couldn't get past. Well, now we know that's changed. Christic saying, that man can phase through bins. I shall call him Bin Man. Jeff Bin Man. Or Binman by day. Okay, so now... Guess we go this way? Gilbert saying, Will, where did you find this beautiful game? I had the pleasure of meeting the creator of this game back at PAX when I was working for Dean Hall. I need more bread. No, so we're good for bread. Not a situation that would be sold by yet more bread.
I had the pleasure of meeting the creator of this game way back, and I've been wanting to play this for a long time. I was initially saving it for a live stream, and now we're back doing this over here and not on... Okay. Alright, truck. Let me see you. No? Okay. Push over these damn boxes! Greenfire saying, I am bread and on a roll. I am disappointed that there hasn't been any DLC for I Am Bread and that it's not called On a Roll. So yeah, I've been wanting to stream this for a while because, I mean, you all know my thoughts and feelings. Like, games as art is the hill I will die on. But I also, it doesn't matter if you're creating, you know, a fast-paced action game or what have you. Like, the perceptions and things we take away from our mediums are very important. Hey, doggo, how you doing? Some numbers, it is not still crazy warm in here, thank heck. Oh, hello, friendo. Okay. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there, thanks to lovely doggo. There are a lot of things that we can learn from different kinds of games, and the reason again, this was back on EC, I did that big old stream of AVP 2000, was because an old game from 1998, 99, did a far better job of doing like variable vision modes than Horizon Zero Dawn, which had to resort to some really arbitrary nonsense to keep their character from being overpowered due to their vision mode. Like, they gave their character all the visual tools they needed, and then had to come up with like, you can't use this lightweight headset device when you're moving normally or attacking because of reasons. It's like, alright, feck off. Now, it's clearly that they had to balance it because it was too good. But it was, discussing how they could come about this. With this one, this game has no qualms in messing with what we would consider as gamers to be our perception of the situation. And it does that for puzzle solving, it does that for effect, it does that to show us a feeling and an emotion, and that's really cool. And I'm all up for misinformation, I'm all up for messing with the player. That might be because I went through a real phase of doing that, playing a lot of the early Half-Life 1 mods when those started jumping around. And some of those did some really weird concept stuff. Like, there was one mod that asked you to wait for half an hour. You just have to wait at a train platform for half an hour. Now, I'm not saying that was good, but it was interesting to see that done because people didn't do that in games. Too expensive. You can't make a multi-million-dollar blockbuster and then ask someone to sit on their hands for half an hour. Iron Imp, what ho! How goes it? We're playing Beyond Eyes and it's lovely. Oh. There you are, you. Yeah, 12 steps, half an hour. Now, what I and a lot of people did was set a timer for half an hour and then returned like later on and the train had shown up. But it was an interesting concept. What does a player do if you ask them to do nothing for a massive amount of time? Like, how can you use pacing in that way in an effective manner? Like, they're all really interesting conversations. So Iron Imp, yes, we are playing a lovely little blind girl who is trying to find her cat. And what we see as players is how she perceives the world in this gorgeous kind of watercolor, like hand-painted style. And it's very I mean, it's beautiful. I've been wanting to play this for a while, and as I was saying earlier, the... Aha! Making some progress. What is noise? It's the sound of progress. Oh. Yay, little flower! Doing the traditional thing every child does, which is drop it in the water. So jumping back into chat, Isocrid saying, what is that like the Stanley Parable achievement to not play for 5 years? Yeah, that basically the Stanley Parable came from that whole sphere of early Half-Life 1 mods, which did these real kind of, I guess like almost punk, almost, I don't know, counterculture modding, which was really cool. And if you play the beginner's guide, a lot of the early commentary about making things in the Source engine actually comes from that sphere. Like, that was a real modding scene that existed. Some numbers are saying, what about games where events happen on a specific times and have an in-game clock? Well, we know those. Like, we know the get to the chopper in 20 minutes. We saw in Dead Rising how placing a real-world time limit on a bunch of stuff created tension. That's cool. Aha! As we make our way past the asshole swans. I'm saying I wouldn't say they're directly related, but is it something of a precursor to the idea of idle games? In terms of like philosophy and theory, yes, but I think in terms of like actual what's the term? Actual deliverables, I think the precursor to those. Oh God, that's a table. The precursor to those was actually more of the. What's the term? More of the. Where is my brain at? The congregate, the Ducksman. More like congregate, more like Newgrounds. Oh, I need a cup of tea real soon, everybody. But yeah, but more like experimental than loop. Idle games don't necessarily ask you to do; they just ask you to be a part of. And I mean, me and Ket have talked about it a lot. I think that there's real opportunities in idle games to create a great experience. The problem is most of them finance in a very weird way. So yeah, 10 Win's gonna crash out. So it's been lovely having you with us, dude. And thank you. You did not have to be as rad and as generous as you are, but that's super cool. And yeah, we're doing Pillars of Eternity 2 next Tuesday. So mark that on your calendar. This just in, seagulls are dicks. They're a bunch of sky rat jerks. Seagulls are jerks. But cats like fish, so we're gonna grab a fish. Did I ever tell you all about the seagull story I saw at what was it? Three Bridges. Ooh. Oh, to Brolly. Score. See, the thing is, this is a found umbrella. Who knows what that looks like? But in her mind, it is this perfect, like, pastel blue. Yeah, boss fight. I am saying there are parts of idle games that grab me and kind of share commonalities with management games in the same way you don't control your characters in Dungeon Keeper or RimWorld. They just do. Yeah, I think there's a lot of power in that. Cryostick saying, I can imagine Will's trying to gather up thoughts and his brain is just repeating, kill the seagull, kill the seagull, kill the seagull. Yeah. There's just, We might have to add that to season 1 of the Longship anime. Is Will just like tearing into a group of seagulls? I don't have that much budget, so I can't. But it can't be like super cool, like One Punch Man animated. But oh wow, we are right down by the sea. Let's have a little look around. But yeah, my very waffled point about this, Stanley Parable, stuff like that, is that, I mean, so far Beyond Eyes has been just a lovely little experience. But it highlights how a character's perception of an environment could change drastically. If we stop looking at what we show the player as truth and start looking at what we show the player as their perception, then imagine what we can do. I mean, it's not cheap because you've got to make different models and change things forward, but yeah. Greenfire's saying they're going to miss tomorrow's stream. They're going to their dad's birthday. Oh, well, give Papa Greenfire the best from all of us, which will probably be very confusing for him as he doesn't know any of us. Oh. Womp womp. Compliment Cap saying, just for funsies, what would season 1 of the Longship anime be about? I don't know. I'm going to talk to Tal and Ray at some point about starting a new art for the stream and stuff like that. So we're possibly looking at season 1 might be kind of a Trigun shonen style. Oh, Ray was beginning to lose hope until she heard a familiar sound. Remember how you all made me move the camera? Well.
Nani?
Yay, Kitty!
Nani?
Kitty! I'm sure I was going to say something really important about, like, representation,
Oh, no.
perception in game design or whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. We found a cat. So forgive the hex. I'm very sorry. It's interesting that because Ray can hear the sea, it's always apparent where the environment is. Don't you go anywhere, cat. I swear to Christ. I don't know what the plot of season 1 of the Longship anime is going to be, but we'll finish up the casting for it once I've got an idea of like timeline and stuff, and we'll see how much work Ray's got on and things like that. Raining pretty hard. Ah, yes. The gull holes are back. Oh, and Sir Joe, thank you very much for the follow. I caught Fire One saying, wait, hold on, the Longship anime thing is actually being made. Okay. My goal is to create at least the... That's not good. That's interesting. Because everything's moving around, Ray's having to kind of reevaluate where everything's are at. That's really interesting. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to do basically like a low-budget anime intro for the Longship. And maybe try and do one like maybe once a year, once every other year, to include a lot of the main characters. So that's why we've been doing the Longship wiki. Now, for legal reasons, they will not be characters of real humans. They will be based. They will be inspired by individuals in chat, just because otherwise I love you all dearly, but I cannot do like 30, 40 licensing agreements. And we're going to do an intro based on the people who are on the Longship wiki, along with some of the elements, and that's the overall goal. That's a thing that I really want to do. Oh, Jesus. Let me jump. So, Dashkill's saying, what, you don't want to deal with 30 to 40 likenesses agreements and the like? Yeah. It's getting real windy out here. I did better when we were in the safe, lovely town. I like that way better. Greenfire's asking, hey Will, is mead in the Longship lore? Oh, of course it is. Oh, it's down a big old loop. Okay. What I want to ask our lovely dev friend is, at this point, it feels like Ray's spatial awareness isn't as sharp as it was in other areas. Is that because of the rain sound? Alright. Gonna find that kitty. Compliment Cap, it probably wouldn't be... Ah, yes, it is. Brilliant. Because it was real interesting with when things got blown over and something changed, Ray's perception immediately retreated, as if to say, like, where Ray would have believed where something was, it's now changed, it's now moved. So, less hand railings. Okay. So we're not going that way. And I really like that. Oh! So where Ray thought there was a box of, like, fresh fish, it's actually just the fish smell coming out of the sewers. That's real interesting. Greenfire, also turns out there's the Viking Blood mead. The Viking Blood Brewery is in just outside of Seattle. So... I haven't planned anything for PAX other than us all having a big meetup, but maybe if people are around, we'll do like a day trip or something. The thing I find with doing like brewery tours and things like that is you usually do them in the day, which usually results in a lot of day drinking. Interesting. Greenfire, the mead strength that they've got is, I think it's like 13-14%, so it's wine shochu strength. And handled with Viking blood mead from freshly squeezed Vikings. Okay, new plan, let's not go on a tour there. Have you all noticed as well that the amount of just casual whimsy in this area is decreased? Feels a lot more... what's the term? Feels a lot more empty, a lot more imposing. And what's really interesting is usually a game like this, there'd be loads of NPCs like pottering about and doing stuff like that. But we don't see anyone around, no pun intended that time. And unless they make a lot of noise, unless they unless they do something to make themselves audible. We're not aware of their existence. This is real dangerous. Knowing that Nani was close by, Ray braved the storm. Child! Notice how her perceptions have come in even closer now. Alright. Remember everybody, hug a wall, save a raid. Yeah, Abyssal Wolfen, welcome to Innsmouth. Okay, but I'm not saying this is, but if this was the start of a horror game, and this is actually Innsmouth, like this dark, twisted town where people are slowly twisting into these horrifying, like fish people creatures, and one little girl who can't see what's happening only believes in the good of it, that's pretty powerful, yo. Dear seagulls, go feck yourself. I'm a wee little girl with a brolly and I'll lick ye. Sorry, Wraith. Sorry. I found I've been doing the Scottish voice just more and more. Oh. I want to go with Crawful Father. Thank you kindly for the follow. Crow sticks with a little girl who only believes in the good of dear fucking seagulls. Doom Brigade asking if this is a Bloodborne prequel. Oh, that's so dark. But now we're cooking with gas, everybody. And I'm not saying that Beyond Eyes isn't a game that doesn't stand up on its own. But, yo. I mean, what if this game slowly introduced to us stats and leveling? They have no function, they have no purpose, like mechanically, but we were given the perception that our actions were leveling and that it was moving towards something. How would that change this experience? Like, oh, I made a terrible mistake. I caught fire once. I can't have a look at that at the moment because this. I'm having a very bad time getting this to alt tab between things. But thank you. I will have a look at that later. Oh, kid, you're gonna have to come. You have to shout from the diaphragm on this one. Make a noise from down here. Oh. This is all real unsettling. So, with time to do a remake. Send your ideas to my mailbox. Yeah. Okay, so we definitely want a leveling and progression system. I want a magical sword. No. So Joe, I don't mean any disrespect by suggesting things. Not because I think this game is changing. It's lovely, and right now I'm feeling very unsettled, which is why I'm talking twice as much, which is a very powerful thing. Is this the way it came up? Bloody hell, it might be. But it's that idea of, like, Bloodborne as a game revels in its obtuse menu systems and stats and things like that. Like, how could you use something similar to a game like this. This is the same... Oh, no. Is it? Yeah, it feckin' is. Went round in a bloody great big circle. Compliment cat. You can't stop me. I'm Ray. I'm saying, speaking of oppressive, I really like Victor Anatov's work on environment design, Half-Life 2 Dishonored, all brutal technologies of authority physically grafted to older, sometimes antiquated buildings. I'd severely, almost, yeah. If you haven't seen it, look up, and if you can, see the original version, like the cinematic version of Terry Gillingham's Brazil, which was a lot of the inspiration and precursor for Half-Life 2's art style. Alright, so we know if we go the other way, we encounter the seagulls, and the seagulls are jerks. Okay. I mean, you all, at least those of you who've been hanging out with me a bunch, know that I love anything that works with, like, subversion of media. And so far, we've been given this gorgeous, beautiful, watercoloured adventure. And now the music's stopped. Now we're following, we're blindly kind of fumbling our way around a beach, trying to find where this feckin' cat is. Yeah, Meow Kitty, hug a wall, save a raid. I mean, unfortunately, I haven't purchased the Beyond Eyes Season Pass, so I'm not going to be able to hit level 15 during the stream and join in any of the main raid content. But, you know, I'm looking forward to it, certainly. I thought it was a bold move of the team to add, you know, raids after the deathmatch had been so successful, but... Greenfire's like, be nice to the cat. I'm going to be nice to it, I'm just not going to let it bloody go. Little Mother Hubbard's been a house cat now. On a leash. With, like, sonar GPS. Einem was just saying that it was a real battle to get the theatre and home releases of Brazil. Terry Gillingham swinging a home run. I don't know if you've heard his Don Quixote films in legal hell, so... Some number says it's not your cat. It is now. Okay. It's not... Oh. It's very unsettling. Oh. Right, well, there's the boat. Okay. So Joe was saying, but yeah, part of me would love to implement mechanics like this in a more mainstream type of game, but then there are a bunch of really cool projects we're currently working on. And, hey, when you're ready to talk about those, like, come hit us up. We'd absolutely love to hear about them, and we'd love to go through one. And Abyssal Wolfen with, well, this is the worst Battle Royale match I have ever seen. Bloody campers, am I right? Greenfire with a wooden spoon waiting in the wings. I'm not going to hurt the cat. I'm just not going to let it go anywhere ever again. And, like, so far, Beyond Eyes is a cracking experience. It stands up on its own. And Reflective saying, okay, the future is now. I'm at a water park, listening to you guys on the free Wi-Fi, and if I had a waterproof phone, I'd be in the lazy river right now. Yeah. That's the dream, Reflective. At least it's a little bit cooler today. I don't know where it is, where you're in the world. But yesterday was uncomfortable. I'm too pale and English for the heat. And sorry, so I do think that, yeah, Beyond Eyes is a cracking experience and does hold up on its own merits. I don't feel like I am left wanting for another thing right now. Alright. Hey there, seagull. I'll do you in with me brolly. Alright, I get the feeling that's where we gotta go. So they're saying that our lovely dev is saying that they'll be doing an announcement in the upcoming weeks. They're currently working on a series of short games set in a really cool fantasy universe. Oh, nice! That sounds super cool. And Fallen Mystic. What ho, Fallen Mystic! They're loving the colour palette. Yeah. It does seem a tiny bit more washed out than the previous one, but... than in previous areas, but that works really well. Okay, okay. So we get past the seagull. Maybe we can sneak past it. Dash was saying, we still have a lovely turquoise umbrella. Yeah, but as we were saying earlier, is it turquoise? It's entirely our character's perception of it. What's there? Something we can't... Aha. The barrel. Yeah, it's our character's perception of this. Like, they just found this, like, blowing down the street. Icofire is saying, do people born blind perceive colour at all? And our lovely deaf friend is saying no. They don't. This particular character was born with sight and lost it because of, I believe, it was an accident. So they have the perception and the understanding of colour. Here again. Greenfire saying, seagulls and zombies alert. Wooden spoon has been upgraded to iron spoon. This is an iron spoon warning. Okay, I don't know why, but for some reason I have Will Smith's Wild Wild West song stuck in my head. It doesn't fit this at all. Just, I had to share that. Cryo sticks! Oh dear lord. Crytek saying, by a frankly astronomical coincidence, it's an umbrella that has the words, I'm okay, I don't need any help from anyone, leave me be, written on it. I am a trained actor, do not interrupt me. Alleged man, what ho, friendo? Welcome back. We're playing Beyond Eyes. It's lovely. One of the lovely developers of this game is chilling and illing in chat, just answering questions via the medium of ASCII. Iron saying, my thoughts on the subject are mostly to do with what's subjectively worthwhile. I think, generally speaking, deconstructions and subversions tend to be projects that thrive or fail in specific windows of time. They're quoting Watchmen and Spec Ops: The Line. Would not have worked outside the context of the world around them, whereas other works like Harvester trying to explore the idea of medium via an FMV adventure game was a little bit too late why it landed. Well, so I think that Spec Ops: The Line is a good premise. If you wanted to do it now, you wouldn't do it as a Gears of War style cover shooter. You'd do it as a Battlefield Call of Duty set-piece shooter. Because it needed that cultural grounding to get people into it, to then mess with their conceptions. Their preconceptions. Nope. Okay, we're okay. Whew. Wargo, aka Horloff. So you are a blind person in this game? Yes. We're playing as a blind girl trying to find her cat. And what you see on screen is her perceptions of the world that she's in. So, using essentially her other senses, she tries to make sense of the world around her. So, like, earlier on, we had this big, mean-looking, fighty dog that kept barking at us and keeping us away. Until we stood up to it and went to go pet it. And it turns out it's a big fluffy dog and it's lovely. And we made friends with it. So our visual, what we saw as players of that dog changed as our understanding about it changed. Also, seagulls are assholes. Green fire. Did hear Cat in the Hat? Well, the Cat in the Hat had the sense to come back. He did wreck the bloody house. Though I have nothing to say about the Cat in the Hat that wasn't said much better by Dan Harmon in the Game Grumps, so that's their... They own that game now. That's Grumpland. Alright, save a raid, hug a wall. Save a raid, hug a wall. I feel like we know that seagull.
Nanny!
Kitty! Kitty! Wait, hang on. Oh, look at the colours! Because she's happy! Kitties! Right, we've got to go around. Yeah, at this point, Ray goes full berserker with the umbrella and just destroys the seagull in term of... There's more than one kitty.
Nanny?
Oh! Familiar sound was quickly replaced with one that Nanny never made. See, cats can be assholes. Bad cats. Cryo sticks with... Oh lord, it's a catastrophe. Bastard cats. You made Ray sad. I will have you neutered. I like the one cat that's just looking at the camera being like, you what? Yeah, that's right. I swear at a little girl, that's what I do. I'm a right cat, me. Jesus, kid's gonna get hypothermia. So Joe is not all cats. Oh. A legend, man. I love your accents, buddy. I am glad because... I'm also glad that Wraith puts up with my nonsense of occasionally, like, drifting into terrible Scottish. Here I go again on my own. Oh. It's gonna be alright, kid. Find your cat.
Nanny.
She's just wandering through the forest now, by herself. Where is this game set? Do they have mountain lions? I found out that there are mountain lions in Washington. One of them ate a cyclist. That's a thing that happens out here. Do you know who's been no help at all? Those feckin' ducks! Yeah, quack, 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 quack. Jerks. Just saying, I'm not from Mountain Lion area. Me neither. I so agreed with. Tell them to quack off. They can go duck themselves. A Legend Man says ducks. The Duck Hunt dog would be good for this one. One game I absolutely have to recommend is a game called I think is it Duck Season, Hunting Season. It's a VR. It's VR Duck Hunt, but oh boy, it's VR Duck Hunt by way of Twin Peaks. Oh. Yeah. Happy little butterflies. There we go. Have a little trot around. Someone please give this tiny blind girl some food. But not that I'm saying anything that people haven't probably already observed themselves, but have you noticed that even though she's now out in the wilderness by herself, aside from some ducks, that this environment is far more peaceful, far more forgiving than like the city? You know, you'd think that like a man-made environment would be safer for a child like this, but this is more welcoming. This is more, yeah. I didn't say that kind of made me giggle. I never expected to hear Duck Hunt and Twin Peaks in the same sentence. Yeah. Yeah. It's made by the same people who did Hoverjunkers, and it's some surrealist nonsense. A little bit to the west-south. I'm going to keep traipsing around. I'm enjoying this area. It's a nice little break from the setup. Plus, if you'll notice, the butterfly's now following us. It's just going to hang out with us. Come on, little friendo. Let's go on an adventure. Volatile Mystic saying, with the heightened senses of hearing, the relative serenity of a woodland area would be calming. And I think that's cool. Yeah. Quack, quack, quack yourself. iCall51 says, it feels more welcoming from the point of view of the character because she doesn't see the mountain lion that's stalking her, waiting for an opportunity to pounce. I swear to the Pantheon, if this ends up being some like Telltale Season 2 type nonsense, so help me, I will have very, very strong words that I will utter from my mouth hole. I'm just going around the pond now. This place is kind of lovely. The butterfly sound is just the sneaking lion, the sneaking lion noise. Isaac Christmas. So help me, I will buy the next chapter of the Telltale Walking Dead. I actually haven't played Season 3 yet, so... I don't know if there's much interest in those... But we could do a group play. I don't know. Doing a Telltale Walking Dead session feels a little bit... too self-indulgent. Oh! Come, butterfly friend. We have adventures to go on. One of the feckin' seagulls just snaps up the butterfly.
Nanny.
Come on, right, you feckin' cat. Oh yeah, crows are bad. That music is going away again. Ooh, okay. Go check out the waterfall. If I was an inquisitive cat who wants to make a blind girl walk through the forest alone, I'd go check out a waterfall. Kind of cool. So Greenfire was asking our lovely dev friend if they have any favourite parts of this game, and they were saying that different parts for different reasons. They love this area specifically because of the nature, and I think I might second that. Uh-oh. Alright, kid, brace yourself. I'm so sorry. Oh. Oh. Okay. No, don't giggle yet. Don't giggle yet. Oh. Okay, we're okay. Oh, laugh it up, Fuzzball. Yeah, Meow Kitty Sakura saying this child has the bravery of legends. Well, it's really interesting because I wonder if this kid even thinks about that at all. Suddenly there was the unmistakable sound of Nanny's collar. Here we go. Okay, that's a bush. That's a wall. Feckin' trees, man! Out the way! Oh, sorry, as I was saying, Kitty Sakura, like, this child probably doesn't even think about the risks or the dangers. Like, they're still at that kind of, that learning phase. And, like, certainly there's the challenges of it, but not... And then I caught violence as saying, I don't think she's necessarily being brave. I just don't think she's... she just doesn't realise how many mountain lions there are stalking you. Stupid wall. God. Something bad's going to happen to the cat. We're going to turn into some, like, vengeful destroyer. The precursor to some God of War type story. Stomposaurus, what ho! We're playing Beyond Eyes. We're playing as a little blind girl trying to find her cat. I'm saying her cat because at this point, like, kids earned it. Okay.
What?
Aww. Oh, shit. Oh, no! Aww. It's gonna be alright, kiddo. So she's in a graveyard? But she just imagined they were stone walls. Let's stay on the path, yeah?
Nani? Hmm?
Oh, come on. Oh, that's not even... Bastard, you knew this was going to happen. Oh. It's fine, I don't even need these feelings anyway. Stupid fucking fidget games. Where are your parents? Ray finally realised that Nani was gone forever. What a bloody hell of a good game. And whoever owned the original cat is obviously buried there. Bravo. Feck. Wow, you had a really cool team of people helping. QA represent. Aw. I caught fire once. I wasn't ready for that either. Don't ask me to say clever, smart words now. Oh. So, Joe, can we get like a sequel where she... Oh. Hey, little friend. Compliment Cap saying, no, I have to go give all my cats a hug. Yes, you do. Little friendos. Yeah, can we get a sequel where this lass becomes like a... I don't know... exceedingly happy. Happy ending DLC, please. One day, Ray received a visitor. The end. Yeah, Meow Kitty Sakura. Ray opening up like a super badass cat veterinary specialist. She becomes like anime super vet, traveling around the world saving cats. I caught fire once saying she'll become John Wick plus Daredevil to get vengeance for whoever hurt that poor little kitty. Oh, bloody heck, what a game. Oh. Came real close to getting a lot of tears out of me there. I just grudgingly ate the last of my sandwich. Our lovely dev friend saying, if it's any consolation, they too shed a little tear there. Hey, if your own works can get to you like that, that's super cool. Wow, I guess I'm processing a little bit. That was lovely. And it did so many things so well. And a lot of things that larger, bigger budget titles have failed to do. It delivered on heart and it delivered on impact. It used our perceptions of what we know both as people with functioning eyes and as gamers, and allowed us to experience what it must be like for someone like that. Someone who is unendingly positive in what most people would describe as just the worst situation. I used to grin. I mean, I'm not complaining, but this was the weirdest Helldivers DLC ever. This game has a whole load of impact. So, Joe, if you are able to jump on Discord, if you want to chat with everybody about the challenges making this game and go from there, I'd love to have you on, if you're able to. And already there. So I'm the one behind.
All right, you should have a little friend request from me, and then we'll get you on. That's why you're all saying don't check the Discord. Ah, it all makes sense now. It all makes sense. Let me invite you. Create an instant invite. Why isn't it? Let me just invite you in. Terribly sorry, one and all. Bear with me just a second as I do battle the technical challenges. Wait, I should be able to just... I'm doing a thing. Alright, I'll just jump into general. You can come join us and I can always transfer us over to there. Wait, if I... Wait a second, I've got a plan. Right. Disconnect from there. There we go. You should have a voice call coming in from me. Okay. Oh, Meow Kitty Sakura is saying they can hear their cat snoring in the background. Oh, yeah, go check on your pets, everybody. Isacrid saying, everyone jump in general! Yeah, nice try. I should have Chedra on Discord voice the moment they appear to be muted. So when they are back, we'll make that happen. So...
Hi, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Hello. So...
Hi, can you hear me?
I can, yes. Hello.
Alright, so I'm gonna get my drink first and my microphone. No, my headphone. Alright,
Oh.
so I'm gonna get my drink first and my microphone.
Oh, God. Okay. Your speakers were playing us back, so we're getting into a little bit of a loop there. And that should be okay in just a second, as the looping has ceased. I'm flicking between that bunch of... oh, dear Lord. So while we're just waiting for the technical setup on that end, how did you all...
Technical stuff. Okay. Let me see. This is weird.
And to be honest with you all, the reason we're going through the technical fixes right now is mostly due to Will's lack of ability to pre-sort. So we can hear your good self.
Alright, so I'm assuming you can hear me, but
Yet you
cannot
have
hear
nothing
you.
from
I might
us.
have to reset.
Green Fire's going to go into lurking mode, so no worries. But also asking, what did I do well? What I didn't do was pre-organise this better. That's on me. So, I am giving it my ruddy best. And whilst we are just mashing through some of the technical problems, what I wanted to ask is all of you lovely folks in chat is how did you find that? I know some of you had already played this before and were interested to see what I thought of it. And, I mean, I don't think anyone's shocked or surprised to hear that I really, really enjoyed that. And that, yeah, I think in our little heart of hearts, I think we all knew how this was going to go down. But
at the same time, it still hit like a dump truck, everybody. And that's very, very powerful. So, yeah.
Yes, I think it's working now.
Indeed. Can you hear me?
I muted the website in my browser, so it wasn't working.
Yay! Right, let me just turn you up a little bit on my end. So, it is lovely to have you with us. Firstly, thank you for a stonkingly good game.
Well, thank you for playing.
No worries. Like
Interesting.
pretty much since seeing the stuff on this, all those many moons ago at an E3, I've been wanting to play this, and then when I started doing like streaming stuff, I was like, okay, this is when I need to save to do with people, and yeah, it did not disappoint.
It was really interesting, like watching somebody play it from start to end, and like all the emotions.
Yup.
Like, don't go there, do this thing. I can change the thing.
It must be very hard not yelling from the sidelines. No, do it like this.
Oh yeah, you should have seen my facial expressions, like especially near the end part. I was just like, oh my gosh, they're nearing that part. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I definitely started welling up for that one. It's so yeah.
I kind of want to apologize, but I don't want to apologize.
Well, it's the power of video games. It's the reason why I believe in them so vehemently, is that they, probably more than any other medium, don't ask us to observe, they ask us to experience and to feel, and that's important. And you achieved full-on feels in like an hour 50, you know? Aerith didn't die for like
My goal
20 hours in.
It was
I was going to start with some of the more basic questions. Like, where did this... What... Sorry, I'm choking on a tiny piece of sandwich here. Where did this concept come from? Because it seems very, very personal, very specific.
Yeah, so it was actually a combination of several things. So I studied game design in college, and for our final project, it was actually the first time during the whole 4-year course that we were able to choose what we wanted to make, because otherwise it was always like an assignment to have some certain like objective. Or so this was kind of my idea, and for the past few years before that, so this was 2011 when I graduated, and a few years before, when I think Braid was the first kind of indie game that came out, and before that, like becoming a solo developer was never really an option, right? You either join a studio or do something else. So came out, I started thinking about, okay, if I was able to do game development, like all the aspects of game development, what do I want to make? What skills do I need? So for this final project, I wanted to make something that was like very personal, kind of a testament, or like a manifesto of sorts, like what kind of game developer I wanted to become. So this was going to be that project. And originally I started working with a friend of mine. Her name is Rian, and she, most of the time, and her art style was these little nice drawings, like watercolor paintings, and they were really cute. And I always thought like, oh, I wish we would just be able to put that sort of watercolor idea in game, and kind of have, like things becoming visible, like the paint flows on paper.
And that's where that watercolor flowing style came from.
But like, kind of like, how do we translate her art style to that project? So we started like designing a small game, and it was originally about it was always going to be about how things are not necessarily set in stone, but we can kind of change the way we feel about them just by changing our perception of it. So that's what was kind of like the starting point. And originally, it was like a very small, short 10-minute game
Yeah.
where you would play a girl walking through an area, and you would see it was very similar to this like very nice watercolor suite. And then at the end of her destination, you would arrive at a um, scary looking building,
Yeah.
and she would go in, and it would turn out that she was actually going there to get her eyesight restored.
Okay.
After that, the screen turned to white, and then faded in, and then you would actually see what the world would look like through normal eyes, like without her imagination, without all her sort of happy
Ooh.
outlook on it. And it turned out to be a lot less pretty in real life. And she kind of felt the whole way back to where she started was kind of her feeling down, and then she would arrive, and then she would meet someone, and it kind of resparked that sort of life again. So that was basically the experience
Okay.
that I made. Originally started with my friend, but as time went on, she kind of felt that she wanted to pursue a writing path rather than an artist path. So we split the project in two. So basically, she made an interactive fiction with
Ooh.
the same themes around. It's no longer online. I've been trying to find it, but she
Oh no.
deleted it, unfortunately.
Because you probably
Right,
sensed
so-
my next question was where can we have a look at that? Because that'd be fascinating to take two mediums tackling the same concept and see how they
Unfortunately,
differ.
yeah. It's no longer there. I'll send her an email, and then I'll send it to you later if she still has it somewhere. But yeah, it was really nice because we were looking at the same thing, through different lenses. So I graduated with that project.
Yeah.
One of the things they were asking like, oh, what kind of things do you really want to do? And it's like, I want to make video games that
Yeah.
make people cry, basically. And
You
my professors.
monster.
I know, right? so, yeah, basically, they said to me, like the professors, they were like, yeah, that's really nice, but that's not where people play games. Like, it's not really the medium for that. But yeah, you're sure you do your thing.
It's okay for them to be exceedingly wrong.
I've had that actually. Like, I met with a few of them later, and they said like, I'm really happy that you kind of proved us wrong on that part. But yeah, it was a different time, right? I mean, like people weren't really with these things, mostly because games were mostly made with like larger productions, or at least like a solid team. So
Yeah,
I
because
graduated.
2011, 2012, that was like height of the 360 era. So while Braid and Meat Boy and things like that had started popping up, they
Exactly.
succeeded very much on the retro flavor. I'm saying this more as framing. I know we all know this, but I love talking about it. So thank you for indulging me. But they harkened back to an old school style of gameplay, but with a fresher kind of indie coat of paint, and so people could hook into that. But we
That's what
hadn't.
indie was at the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
indie was mostly like developers taking on genres or games that were no longer being made by AAA or larger studios, and kind of going back to that core and the excitement that a lot of gamers were missing
Yeah.
from like early retro experiences. And then there was a group that a very small group of developers that saw like, oh, maybe we can use games as a storytelling medium. Maybe we can use so you can harness the power of these experiences and make people feel things. Or
Yeah.
so yeah, that's basically what I wanted to do. After graduating, I kind of felt like Beyond Ice in that sort of sense it was really nice, but I kind of wanted to put it a little further and make it more personal. So I started reworking on it, and that basically became a me to kind of share my life lessons, I guess. You would say, like, things I learned in life. And I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to give that same sort of sentiment to other people by playing experience and hopefully kind of out there.
Just so you know, I've moved us over back to the water area, the area before the graveyard, just so we can look at the ducks, we can hang out. The butterflies having a great time. Nothing bad ever happened. The kid
Just happy place.
Yeah. You definitely succeeded in creating an adventure and a story with some serious feels, and you know, if I mean, there's so many different threads I'd love to just pull apart with you, like messing with a user's perception to create an emotional experience rather than like a horror experience or a jump scare or things where we usually, we've all seen Dead Space and how it, messed with what is and isn't real. And my lot are sick to feckin' death of me talking about Kane and Lynch with the scene of, where one user's getting one perception of the situation and one user's getting another. But using that to deliver an emotional experience, like, there aren't that many that have tried and fewer that have succeeded. So, yeah, I've been super excited to try this. I guess let's do a stodgy question before we get back into the flavor roots. And those of you chilling and illing in chat, we'll open the floor to more questions in just a second. You succeeded in getting this to market through a publisher. How did you manage that with a game which did not have, two assault rifles duct taped to each other?
Well, the original version did have, and that's how I kind of lured them in. No.
Blind action hero.
You just have to know how to pitch it to them. Now, what basically happened was in 2013, I decided to launch a crowdfunding campaign, knowing nothing about crowdfunding and ignoring every piece of solid advice on how to successfully crowdfund the game. But that aside, but one of the people that did support the game was working at Team 17.
Yeah.
So a little later, I saying like, okay, it's gonna be delayed for a little while because I need money to finish the game, and then they pitched it to their boss. They said like, because Team 17 was my publisher.
Yeah.
Is my publisher, and known for Worm Games.
Yeah.
But they ventured out in creating an indie label that publishes indie games. So they were looking for new games to kind of, so the person who supported my game, they pitched it to, or they showed it to the bosses there.
Yeah.
And they liked it, so they reached out. They said like, oh, we heard that you are currently like not able to fund the game yourself, the development of it. Are you going to Gamescom, which is a large event in Cologne, in Germany?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going there this year? And would you like to meet up to potentially chat about it? And it's like, okay, this is really interesting because it, like, looking at their portfolio, like, it seemed like, they were or target audience. But yeah, I did, and
sadly,
and we spoke.
Unfortunately, robots might have eaten a little bit of your last sentiment, but I assume you mean that like you brought it to them and they were still intrigued, even though it wasn't the standard indie affair.
So they offered a publishing deal. So originally, our plan was that I would finish make the game for PC, as I always intended, and they would handle porting.
Yep.
And just the whole marketing shebang and give me additional support or developers when needed.
Yeah.
So that was the original plan. But what happened was somewhere there. So E3, right? It's always in June.
Yeah.
But preparations, of course, that start months earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So 2014, every once in a while they just visit the studios, and the studios make an appointment, or they just like they pitch all the projects and take note, and if they like something, then then they'll let them know. So they saw Beyond Ice, and they were, and then a little while later, they said that they were considering to put it on the long list for the E3 Microsoft Showcase. And the long list is basically a game of a list of around 80 to 90 possible games that they might be considering. So it's not like
you are going to E3 for sure, but it's like you're on their list.
Exactly. You're on a watch list. It's like a huge deal, even for like my publisher, who's been around for decades, and they never had the opportunity to show. So it kind of upped the stakes, right? And need to make sure that the next time we can present to them, like we are considerably with the development.
Yeah.
So it kind of just things went really fast, really crazy.
From naught to full on very quickly.
Just me making the game too. Like a whole team was on there, and then we tried to collaborate through Skype, and then like long distance collaboration because they're in the UK, I'm in the Netherlands. Really wasn't working out, so I moved there for development time. So that was a really intense experience.
At least Team 17 are based in a nice part of the world. Like.
True. It was my part of the world. England was it was my first time going to the UK. It was really an experience in its own.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that was basically what happened. So the next time they came, they're like, okay, you're shortlisted now. And then they said a month before, they say, oh no, we're gonna change the whole format of the show, so we're not doing indies. And then like a week and a half before E3, they said, okay, we changed it again. Can you come to Los Angeles next week? Okay.
All right.
So we might be able to put you on there. It's like, okay. And then it turned out, because they have this whole lineup is very secret, so they just keep like changing details to keep people like.
At what point did you find out you were going to be on stage?
Basically, that Thursday, they said like you might be, and then but you have to arrive like 3 days before E3 because
rehearsals and press conference and all that.
And they said, okay, it's gonna happen. We need you to write like a little speech, and then it was turned out that we had like a private room at E3 as well. So it was the weirdest few weeks of my life, to be honest. But it was a really cool experience.
Very cool. Fallen Mystic just wanted to add many thanks for a lovely game, and it's been added to their Steam list. So
nice, thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna do. Obviously, I'm gonna keep chatting. So everybody chilling in chat. If you've got any questions for a lovely dev friendo, throw them in, because Beyond
Shall
Ice...
I tell you how to pronounce my name now?
Please.
Okay, so basically, where are you from originally?
That's a long story. Let's go with London. It's the easiest.
Right. So, 3 different ways to say my name depending on the country you're in. So here in the Netherlands, everyone calls me Sherida.
Sherida.
And then in the UK, everyone calls me Sherda.
Sherda. Now, see, that's what I... yeah. I can probably get that one.
And then in the US, they say Sherida.
Ugh. Well, 2 out of 3 is not bad, right?
Right. But and then most of my friends just call me Sure.
Sure.
Sure. I'm sure.
If it makes you feel any better, a lot of our lot who've been in chat at the moment they are used to me butchering their usernames, even after they have repeatedly tried to help me with it. I'm pretty heckin' dyslexic, so I give it a ruddy good go. But that's another kettle of monkeys. So the questions are starting to roll in. So Greenfire is asking one of the obvious ones, which is, was the cat based on someone's beloved pet?
It was based on. Okay, so this is the part where my real life influences my development.
Yeah.
So the game was always, when I started remaking it, it was always about a girl looking for the cat.
Yeah.
It was called Nanny and named after my cat Nanny. And sick, and Nanny died. Feeling that said, like, if I can't be happy, nobody can be happy. But no, I kind of wanted to change the underlying story after that, because originally it was about getting a happy ending, like having her have that moment of success. But then the original message of the game that I wanted to give.
Yeah.
So the character's name is Ray, right? And my father, his name was Ray, and he died when I was around before my 10th birthday. Yes, it's gonna be a sad story. I'm sorry.
So basically, the course at this point.
It was really difficult, of course, right? Like losing someone that close. But one of the things that I learned, also from him, but also from life itself, was kind of that thing that you cannot always control what happens in life.
Yeah.
Sometimes really shitty things happen, and there's no reason for it. There's no like grander story, or but they just happen. And the only power that you have in that moment, in that feeling, is deciding how to look at it, like how you let it influence you. And that is basically what I wanted to convey with this game. Like, when the game starts, she's very isolated, she's very scared, she's very uncertain of herself.
Yeah.
But by looking for a cat, by going outside, by exploring, by decide to go see if, like, approach that mean looking dog, she's able to change her perspective, and therefore also innocence. And that was basically what the story was for. So it's both a tribute to losing two loved ones, but also sharing lessons that I got from that experience.
That's really lovely. And I think it was chat that said it before I did, but everyone was commenting on just how ruddy brave this girl was. Like, holy Toledo's. From being blind and isolated to just striding out into the world. That's pretty badass.
Absolutely. And I think questions that I've had from people who did not play the game but watched it, like the trailer, I got a lot of response, like not too many, but people saying like, oh, you're kind of playing into the disability stereotypes that, like they're to fend for themselves. It's like, maybe I could have made that come better across in the trailer, but the game is not about her feeling sorry for herself. It's about her overcoming that initial setback, and just, it's not about overcoming blindness, it's just overcoming her way of dealing with it. And
I hope I wasn't too forward in what I was saying earlier about, we don't get a lot of blind characters in video games, less so ones that aren't the kind of I am blind, but because I am blind I have superpowers, like super ninja gunfight powers. Ha! It's
horror. It's just like, monsters are coming from every direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's honest and it's truthful, and what was really interesting was as we were talking about earlier, is like as the rain was coming in, her her perception of the environment was kind of decreasing because I guess so much sound, so much information, like she couldn't map the environment in her mind, or however it is that she's able to keep track of everything. It's, yeah. And I'm gonna say it again. Choosing the white background instead of the jet black one changes the flavor and the tone of it so much, because it's not this, this unpenetrable darkness occasionally pierced through with little bits of information. It is a blank canvas upon which the experiences shape her perceptions, and that's really cool. Will's getting arty again. All right. So jumping back into chat for questions. Cryostick's asking the really important question. Can you get official confirmation that she is wearing the boots of blinding speed from Morrowind?
She will be in the patch that I merged it early. So if you want that DLC, you just have to spam my publisher.
Yep. Team 17. We'll start a campaign. Free the boots of blinding speed. Sorry. Meow Kitty Sakura said, "Did you have a specific place in mind for the game's setting?"
A little bit, but it's so originally so as you can see from the coloring style, right? It really it's very reminiscent of children coloring books, like the picture books.
Yeah.
So I was kind of going for this version where her memories, like her good memories of Side, were kind of by like the kind of imagery you would see as a child, like brighter shades and colors. Kind of going for a French countryside sort of look.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was, when I moved to the UK and we had some artists there, they are from the UK. So there are some elements in there, like vegetation or the styles that you were climbing to get over.
Yes!
Anywhere else. Actually, because when they first put them in there, I was like, what are these things? And then I looked outside of the office. It's like, oh, this is actually how you get into the fields.
Yep. Those are all
like
over the
climbing
UK.
the style. So exactly, but I've never seen them anywhere in Europe before. So there's a little bit of the there are elements of the Britishness of some of my development team that have sort of infiltrated the art style.
That's real cool. And you're right, it definitely had that kids book kind of feel. It is just as it is. There wasn't any need to explain to us, why the town was the certain way, why it was laid out. It's just that not childlike acceptance, but that, yeah. I don't have a better term for it. I was referencing Steven Universe about it earlier. Oh, as in the show, not Steven himself. I sadly don't have a dial number for Steven.
I have never watched Steven Universe. I'm sorry.
It's as another show that takes the children's viewpoint of a situation and travels the narrative through that. It's really good.
Yes, I've heard very good things about it. I should is it on Netflix?
It must be. Chat, do you know where an individual could legally watch
Exactly.
Steven Universe? I still got the ducks going on in the background. They're just happily phasing in and out of existence. And Iron was just saying they're very happy that Team 17 is still going. You and me both. They're a lovely bunch of people and they do very, very good works. And it's real good to see them, continuing the publishing train, especially with experiences like this. So aside from that crazy E3 rush, what was the other biggest challenge you faced bringing this game to market? If you don't mind my asking.
No, of course. Okay, so the biggest me was that I never intended this game to be a mainstream game. It was always going to be like this little weird niche thing that I made.
Yeah.
And then with E3, it kind of was, oh, this is a game. But even though it was marketed and had like a lot of behind it we noticed already, like from the response, that people were expecting different things from it. So kind
Okay.
of they would say like, oh, it's probably gonna be um, like for example when people I said like one of the two questions I get asked most is like, where are our parents, and why can't she run or can't she walk any faster? It's because a lot more people who consider themselves to be, well, I would say core gamers, they would expect gameplay that they are more used to being served as the demographic that they are.
Yeah.
So for me, it was challenging because even though I had the complete creative freedom the way I wanted, like full IP rights,
Hmm.
there was always like a little bit of this of other people saying like, oh, maybe you should make it a little bit more like this, or maybe you should think about adding a little bit or more of that. And then there's trying to stay true to that vision.
Yeah.
You work with people who are really experienced in the field of making games,
Yeah.
but at the same time they are not very experienced in making these kind of games. So you don't want to be like, it's like la la la, I can hear you, but you kind of want to take the advice and you want to take the input, but at the same time you feel like, oh, am I still sort of safeguarding that experience?
Yeah.
That was definitely challenging. And the other part, because I set it out making the game by myself,
Yeah.
I'm actually a really bad programmer. Um, I I taught myself programming for the sole purpose of making this game, basically. So, trying to have all the elements of the game live up to my really high standards, but at the same time being sort of held back by the skill set that I had at the time. That was a struggle.
Okay. So Miyaki Sakura, I see your question. We covered that a little bit earlier, so I don't want to double up on. Just it was the discussion of the watercolor art style, and yeah. I'm trying to think what other stonkingly good questions I. Although it's interesting you're saying. I think that's a really important thing to shout from the rooftops is that you don't have to be a phenomenal programmer to make games. Like the experience that you deliver in the end is really what matters.
Yeah, and I think definitely nowadays there are way more tools available um, that can help you tackle those issues, where you can just have an idea and use these other tools to help you
Yeah. Back in our
and
day,
without.
it's a very different story. It's uphill both ways, I tell thee.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, so I use Unity, which is an engine that is often mocked, but it's I really like it.
Mm.
And I started learning what, which was then the new kid on the blocks was XNA, which was a framework
Oh wow. Yeah.
in C sharp that was at that time the easiest way to develop games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was still like you still had to make the whole thing from scratch. And Unity at the time was only available for Mac, and no self-respecting game developer ever used Mac, MacBook or. um, so when it came to, I think even the beta version of it came to Windows.
Yeah.
I got into it during like a workshop, and it was like this whole new world sort of feeling like, oh my god, I can a little game in one weekend.
That's super cool.
Something that, yeah, and it was just like, because my issue was this. I was at a school, like I said, I wanted to make games that make people cry, right?
Yeah.
But at the time, I was one of the weird kids. So we had a couple of programmers. Like my year was programmers, artists, designers,
Yeah.
and were scarce. Everybody wanted them, and they mostly wanted to make more mainstream games. So it was. I had this problem that I want to have so many ideas of things I want to make, but I had nobody to make them for me. So having a program like Unity where I could make games for myself was like a huge game changer. It's like, okay, I can no longer have to rely on others to bring this vision to life. I can actually make things myself. And it was just like really awesome.
And spoiler, it worked a whole bunch. We've spoken a lot on this show about the power of Unity. The one that we've been touting a lot for just kind of breaking people's perceptions is a game called Escape from Tarkov, which looks like one of those atypical mainstream like hardcore shooters. Is like persistent multiplayer nonsense, all made in Unity. It's crazy. So the questions, aside from is there any hope for a sequel where we can get a +5 weapon against the seagulls?
I wouldn't wait for it. But who knows? Like maybe if the public speaks, then
Hashtag reboot Beyond Ice.
Like I said, just send the suggestions to my mailbox. I'll just go through them. But
so I guess one of the things that's so weird to say is that because what you've made here is so clear in its vision and it does it so well, I don't find myself having a lot of questions. This work speaks for itself, and that's something that I don't think a lot of games can say.
Oh, that's a really nice compliment. Thank you.
No worries. So I'm gonna bring this little section to a close. So, thank you so much for jumping on. I know you said you were super busy at the moment.
It's midnight here, so it's past midnight here. So when you said 1 p.m., I thought like, oh, it's gonna be the afternoon, but
yeah. I've been using the Twitch event system to give everybody actual time zones, and it does help because they're like, "Oh, I'll be up at that time," and I'm like, "No, Pacific time, Pacific time." So look, thank you for the game, thank you for your time. It's been a wonderful experience, and yeah, when you've got new stuff, hit me up, and we can show it off, and it'll be great.
Oh, I see one question, by the way.
Oh, go for
if
it.
You want to, like,
no, if I've missed anything, go for it.
Sticks just asked one. Else on what you would have patched. Actually, I did make a patch. So there is a patch on my computer labeled patch, which details. So for me, the most frustrating part of the game are the second area after you cross the road and the village area. Kind of finished while I was in the US for the whole E3 promotion and subsequent things after that. Like a lot of stuff happened then. So what I wanted to do for that was create more interesting moments, like have a tighter level design, create more interesting moments like the road area that you see in the beginning. And I did. So the game was patched, added more visual detail. There's some extra music there that wasn't there before. So like a lot of little tweaks and also like larger level design tweaks that just like made the experience a whole lot tighter. And kind of took away from the bits that I felt were a bit sluggish and a bit frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people have asked for you to patch out the invincible frames in the dash parry cancel. I personally think it's fine, but I can understand why you might want to address that.
Little things like if you were going over areas that you've already discovered, she would walk a little faster, like little like stuff like that, just making it enhancing the flow of the game.
That would be super cool. I mean, personally, I didn't find the pace of the game to be problematic. It was the whole seagulls bread scenario did end up being like a it caused us to explore the village, which I think is a success. I can see how you'd want to make tweaks to that, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because the village itself, for me, lack in this version was lacking the life and the vibrancy that the nature areas have, where constantly stuff is happening and you kind of feel like you're in a living environment. And the city area was a lot more turned into more of a ghost town.
I liked that. Was that weird? I mean, if you were listening, I thought that the difference in that was strikingly good.
It was a little bit of both. I mean, did like parts of it, but I kind of want. Yeah, it was just missing like a little bit, like a little tweak here, a little bit more gameplay there, and yeah, it's one of those things that I kind of have to live with. No, it is. It was interesting, but because uh, a few weeks ago, I was invited at a Games for Diversity lunch to showcase the game, which was really interesting because the game has been out for a long time.
Yeah.
And after, I always kind of felt that the game that at some point you start focusing so much on the perceived flaws that you have that it's difficult to look at the game right from a fresh perspective. And I started showcasing the game and kind of seeing it, and it's the same thing today, like seeing it through somebody playing it for the first time, and it kind of made me love the game a little bit more. Like I feel like I'm getting more in touch with the game just by some time away from it, and not focusing on all the things that I felt like were not good enough, and just like seeing like, oh, now it's a really fresh experience, and I'm still very proud of it, and so yeah.
That's super cool to hear. And yeah, I'm sure that there are an inordinate number of people in chat who would agree with that. Like, looking over your own work, there are always things we wish we could change, always things we wish we could tweak.
Yes. Absolutely, yes. So but yeah, I'm making peace now, and yeah,
And of course,
taking that experience to the new projects.
which we are all thoroughly looking forward to. I mean, the question that I'm amazed no one else asked is, so when are we getting a Switch port?
Yeah, I don't think I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I know that at the time they weren't for any Nintendo games.
Well, when you were dropping this was still Wii U territory, which is
Yeah.
everyone was convinced it was the death of Nintendo. God, if you have to read another think piece about the death of Nintendo, so help me, Lord.
To be fair, it was already such a challenge to make the game run as smoothly as it does on consoles, like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, that the Wii U was like, oh, there. Like, how are we ever going to have that game look as pretty and as it does here? So yeah.
Right. Well, I think. I think that we are clear on questions. So, once again, thank you so much for your time. What a bloody marvellous game!
Thank you. Good to hear that.
And
so yeah, I'll just keep you informed of our new projects.
It's
going to be a little different.
Different is good. We like different here.
Well, so do I. I mean, I really I like these sort of experience. I also really enjoy RPG. So we're going into a little bit more in that, combining that territory with strange, emotional, experimental game that's like Beyond Ice.
I am in. So, once again, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Have
a great
evening.
Day. Yes, well, I think it's bedtime for me now.
Yeah, go. Have some sleeps.
Thank you.
Right, and we are off the call. And to all of your lovely, lovely selves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the stream down because I really want to keep this as a little self-contained bubble. We'll throw it over onto we'll throw it over onto YouTube and stuff so the VOD is complete. And then we're going to roll it into something else. So, yeah, I'm going to bring the stream down. So you've all got like 5 or 10 minutes to go get a cup of tea, which I'm going to, stretch your legs, which I'm going to, have a pee, which I'm definitely going to. And we'll come back around to who knows what. But, yeah, once again, I want to say Beyond Eyes is a lovely game. And I think anyone who's grown up with or just loved a family pet, like there's a knot right there. So yeah, thank you. All right, take a breather. We'll be right back after these completely nondescript messages.